The mistake people make when it comes to real estate investment is they are buying sentimentally.
Okay.
So you say, my father is from Ogbomoso, I want to go and buy my land in Ogbomoso. Oh. Sentimental purchase. Many of our Igbo brothers, they go building houses in the village, they have mansions in the village, the house is locked most of the year, and it is not an asset that is bringing you cash
money.
The only reason you should buy a land is if that place has potential to appreciate, and there are many factors that contribute to this. A university is there, government is developing the area. Ibejileki is the buzz for the past few years because there's Dangote refinery, there's the Lekki Free Trade Zone.
So people are thinking like, oh, in future this place will be a commercial hub.
Exactly.
Amazing you, welcome to Chat Hour. If you're returning, welcome and thank you, and if you're stopping by for the very first time, welcome and thank you. Yes, I have got TMO here with me on the show today.
Yay.
Hey Tope,
I'm happy to be here.
Yes, it is so good to have you here again. Tope, it's good to see you, and she's an investment coach, right?
Yes.
She is also an honor personality. I mean, she wears so many caps, and today we are going to be talking investment. All right, okay, so in many cultures, investing is actually a topic that is so uncomfortable to discuss, or on the flip side, it may be comfortable. In so many or different cultures, discussing investment with children in a household can be uncommon. And well, some people have said that it is understandable because some of these children they don't understand the concept or even the process of that bigger financial goal, like investing in a home or retirement. And some people have said that some children have been so sheltered from, you know, investment, the discussions around investment, that when they now become adults and it is time for them to start saving or investing, they become very anxious. It brings anxiety to them. So these are those things we're going to be talking about today. All right, so as an investment coach, Tope, tell us, what was your experience growing up?
Okay, so I was born into a family of entrepreneurs. So
okay.
In my family, money was a conversation that was around me, and I realized that's not the norm for many people. Many people don't have that conversation around money. It's seen as something you would understand when you grew up. I've evolved through many industries as an entrepreneur, and I have learned that my understanding of money and investing is crucial to a successful life, because at every stage in life there are different levels of investment you would do. So when you're growing up, you don't do investments. Your parents are investing in you, but investment happens all through our lives. Actually, if you fail to invest appropriately, you would fail in life. Investment is something we do all our lives, and the quality of investment our parents did into us as children sometimes determines how far we go in life. So if your parents invested by sending you to a very good school, it influences who you become, your level of confidence, your ability to speak well, your courage. All of that is because your parents took time to invest heavily. Some parents, in my own case, my parents took me to a school that was like almost over an hour from my house, because they wanted me to be in a circle and a different environment than where we were living. Okay. So that was an investment for them. Now, your parents do the first investment in your life. After your parents are done with their investments, which is usually by the time in Nigeria, it's university. In America, after your secondary school, your parents are done with you. Your college, your university or college, you fund it yourself because you take a loan and have a student loan. But whichever way it happens, from that point on, you are now meant to continue investing in yourself, because every time you don't invest in yourself, you are leaving a gap that somebody else will fill in your future. If you work in an office and you don't invest in building yourself, your knowledge bank, somebody else will know more than you, and the person will overtake you in your office. Yeah. If you're earning as you're growing and you don't invest in the future, you'll be 50, 60, and you have no assets that would enable you to continue to have cash flow over time. All right, so we know that in Nigeria, it is not something that is very common because, of course, we talk about the rat race and it's almost like what your parents did, you're doing again, and all of those things, and it goes round and round, and at the end of the day, it's like people are shouting, we have not even achieved anything. You know, saving is such a daunting task to people. Investing is another thing entirely. Some can't even invest. You know, they can't even invest. They even prefer to even just save their money and see their money like that.
that than to invest that money in something. How do we train people from when they are young so that they have this thing about, okay, so you know what, to be comfortable in future, to leave something for, perhaps it might not be your thing to leave something for people after your generations after you, but then to be comfortable in life? How do you go about that, like teaching them from the outset?
Yes. So for me as an investment coach, I look at it from the perspective of once you start earning, you must start saving. That's the first step. Once you start earning, you must start saving. Once you start saving, the goal of your savings is to now invest it. There are multiple investment vehicles depending on your risk appetite, but you must get comfortable with saving. And because of the cost of living worldwide, worse in Nigeria, I think even worse, more terrible in Lagos, it might be difficult for people to save. So I tell them that saving is a culture you must imbibe. You must identify yourself as a saving person, and most times for you to even save, you might need to make sacrifices in the beginning, because if it's not something you're used to, it will mean I'm going to cut costs on other areas so I can carve out the money to save. So the first thing I'll tell people is, if you're watching for the first time, you're not someone used to investment, you're not used to savings, you're not even used to all this thing we're talking about money. Your own is you're just looking for money. Hey, start first by saving. And you might think I don't have enough money. What I'll say is, evaluate what you are currently earning and how you're spending, and look for something you can cut away. At a point in my life, I cut away going to the salons, and I felt that the little money I was saving from doing my hair myself, I can save it. Some people cut away DSTV subscriptions, some cut away cable, Netflix, all those stuff. Some cut away buying shoes and clothes for like a few months because they want to save up that money. You might need to make sacrifices, but the ability to have long-term perspective will help you to feel not so bad because of the current sacrifice you're making. So the first thing I'll say for anybody new to investment is start saving.
Wow. Okay, so now let's talk about investments. There are different things people can actually invest in. So what are those things that you can list out to people? Because yeah, we talk about real estate, and some people don't even buy the idea of real estate at all, because I know somebody who has built a house and he said that if he knew better, he wouldn't even have built that house in the first place. And I'm like, people are thinking they should build a house. I'm wondering what his story is and why he said that. So what are those things that people can invest in?
So the first thing I always say to anybody thinking about investment is, you are the first person you should invest in. And when I say you, I mean your knowledge.
Okay.
What you don't know, you don't know. So when it comes to investing, if you abdicate the responsibility of the knowledge of investments to somebody else, they will cheat you.
Okay, so you have to do research.
You have to invest in knowledge.
Okay.
Pay a coach, buy a course online on investing, study, even if you don't have the money to buy. Study, take a time to study about investments. First investment you should do is into yourself. But number two is to understand what are the areas I can invest in. So you can invest in your stocks, you can invest in bonds, you can invest in assets, you can invest in commodities. And assets include real estate.
Okay.
So, and then you can do the financial investment where people put money into real estate but they don't buy the assets. They put money into agri but they don't buy the assets. But assets is another one. So assets means that I'm buying a land, or I'm buying a house, or I'm buying a land for farming, or you are buying an asset, something you can see. You're buying gold, you're buying silver, something you can see, and you're holding to let it appreciate. And financial investment is that I'm putting my money into this asset, somebody else is managing it for me.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of bad stories within Nigeria of financial management, where you put your money into a company thinking they will help you invest in real estate, and the company folds up and then you hear billions of naira gone into thin air.
Yeah.
And so it's very important that when you are starting, you start with something that is safe. When I started investing, the first thing I did was to do stock.
Okay.
I bought shares. And then from buying shares, I moved into treasury bills. They give you very little returns, but they are safe. So they are you're first testing the waters with things that are very safe. So you do your stock, and don't just buy every stock you see or because they're advertising it. You need to buy stocks that are like blue chip companies. So in Nigeria, there are some companies that have existed for over 50, 60 years that are on the floor. Those are the shares you should buy. Strong shares. You might not be able to buy a lot, you buy a little, but at least you know that this company will always be there. They've had a track record of good management. Now, if you say, I don't want to do stocks, the money there is not much, then you can consider, let me think of investing in real estate. Now, many people make mistakes when it comes to real estate. I'm into real estate, so that's my primary investment.
Your forte,
Yes, I advise people for investment in real estate, and I'll say that the mistake people make when it comes to real estate investment is they are buying sentimentally.
Okay.
So you say, my father is from Ogbomoso, I want to go and buy my land in Ogbomoso. Oh. Sentimental purchase. Many of our Igbo brothers, they go building houses in the village, they have mansions in the village, the house is locked most of the year, and it is not an asset that is bringing you cash
money.
So sentimental purchase is not, you buy sentimentally from your excess, not from the money you are scratching together. Your first investment into real estate must be an investment thoroughly researched with the aim of either the land will appreciate or the land or property will give you cash flow. So that's why I said the first thing is to understand what is appreciation, what is cash flow, what is all those terminologies. You need to know them. So you have
to know them. You have to
because
research,
that way you won't be lost when we're saying it.
Yes. And then ask people questions.
Ask questions. If they cannot answer your questions, don't put your money in their hands. If they are too busy for you to answer your questions, they are too busy to collect your money because you've worked too hard for your money to lose it. So empower yourself with knowledge. Be confident enough to ask questions from anybody asking you to invest with them. Ask them what they are using the money for. Ask what the land is. Ask why they are buying that land. Because many people tell me, I want to buy land in this place. I'm like, why do you want to buy land there? I heard my friend wants to buy. Why is your friend buying a land there? We must learn to question why we're doing what we're doing. The only reason you should buy a land is if that place has potential to appreciate. And there are many factors that contribute to this. A university is there, government is developing the area. Ibeji-Lekki is the buzz for the past few years because there's Dangote refinery, there's the Lekki Free Trade Zone.
So people are thinking like, oh, in future, this place will be a commercial hub.
Exactly.
Interesting.
So those are the things to consider.
I have heard people say that because certain parents did not teach their children the culture, they don't know it, as I said earlier. And there are people who their parents actually taught. And because their parents taught them a certain way. Now, perhaps that certain way might not be profitable at this moment. That is still the way they are going because that's still the method they are using. What would you say? Because at the end of the day, it might pay off and it might not pay off because we all evolve every time and things evolve.
I think we have a responsibility to grow. And the world is not the same. There are things that we used to do 3 years, 5 years ago that we don't do anymore because there's no market for it. That there are websites and internet provided solutions that we had 5 years ago, but we don't need them anymore now. So it's important that you understand what problem you are hoping to solve with your investment. So if your parents taught you something about investment, but what they taught you is no longer relevant today, you have an assignment to upgrade your knowledge because everything is changing on a daily basis. That's one. Number two, it might be working. If it is not broken, why fix it? So if you are doing a system and it's been working for you and there's been no issue, continue because you don't want to experiment with your money. You don't want to experiment because in your experiments you might lose money. So it's better for you to follow a tried and true system. So for those that are doing agriculture, I always say that many of us do agriculture the way our parents taught us. It's an investment. It's a very, very viable. In Nigeria, agriculture is huge. And the government is funding a lot of agricultural endeavors. So many people just sit down in Lagos or sit down in the cities and think like, this is where I must hustle it out here.
So guess what? They go to the rural area.
You might actually just need to go to the, you might not become a farmer, but moving to Enugu, move to Kogi, move to those areas where they produce them raw. Even if you don't become a farmer, you can be the middleman. Because you're wise, you're educated, you can use your education to check online for demand, and then you become the supply middleman supplying them. There are loads of opportunities within the agro value chain that we're not thinking of as an investment vehicle. But like I say, if my parents have taught me this is the way to farm, we will till the ground, we'll do this, we'll do that. But in modern times, I've realized that if I just plant the stem from last season, my yield will keep on depreciating. The quality of my stem will continue to go down. I should buy new stems every new season that has been researched to produce a larger result. It will be unwise of me to say because my father always used the stem from last season, I'm going to continue to use stem from last season. Wisdom is for me to go to IITA or those research institutes and buy a stem that will give me bigger cassavas when I am planting. So I believe when your parents teach you things, take the wisdom and apply current research as knowledge added to the wisdom they've given to you, so that you can get position yourself for a more successful future.
So in Nigeria of today, people are saying that investors are crying, investment is not even good for this area, and a lot of people are relocating. Yeah, what would you say to people? Because the term is like, Nigeria, you still want to stay here, you still want to invest here, there is no power, you know, you're wasting a lot of money and all of this. So what do you say to that?
So one of the things that we realize is, whenever the economy is unstable, the ability for you to profit increases, because the higher the risk, the higher the reward. Many people will not want to put their money here, and those that do, and they are wise about it, they are informed, they make crazy amounts of money you cannot make in a developed society. Developed society are heavily regulated, and so there is a limit to what you can make officially. In Nigeria, you can legitimately clean out, because there is less regulation that is curbing your ability to maximize, to expand and grow. Of course, there are challenges in the society, but the perspective you give those challenges will determine if you will benefit from it or not. So if you see it as a problem that is humongous, you cannot overcome, you will not overcome it. If you're seeing those problems as, people are complaining about how to get dollar, let me make a business on how to get dollar. So you are able to see the problem, solve the problem, and you profit from it. So Nigeria is still a viable investment ground, but I'll tell you the truth. As an investment coach, I believe you should have investments in different currencies. For now, my investment is still in Nigeria, Naira. But before the end of the year, I intend to have a dollar-rated investment. I know that my 5-year plan is to have 5 currency-rated, 5 investments in 5 currencies. You must strategically plan how you would have investments in different currencies. So if something happens in one country or something happens in one currency, you still have another stream of income, another cash flow from another currency that is strong and valuable. So I would say that, yes, you might think Nigeria is not working. You might think things are not working, but guess what? Dangote still makes most of his money here. And he's still expanding here. So there are opportunities for you to expand here. You just need to understand, which is why my first investment is into yourself.
All right, interesting. Thank you so much, TML Speaks. And I'm sure that perhaps you have questions to ask Tope. Any questions you have for Tope? You want to tell them your handle?
Yes, you can ask me at TMO Speaks. So my Instagram handle is at TMO Speaks, Twitter, TMO Speaks, Facebook, Tope Mark Odigie. And I do respond to messages, so send them in.
Yes! Thank you so much once again.
Had fun.
Yes.
I had fun. So you guys, she loves you. She wants you to make money, so keep watching. Chat out.
Thank you so much. All right, thank you once again for coming on the show. Thank you so much for watching. What are your thoughts on this particular episode? I'd really like to know. Kindly drop in the comment section down below, okay? Now, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscribe button already and click on the notification bell, all right? And do not forget that if you like this video, you consider it a good one, just smash the like button already. All right, till I come your way again, or we come your way again, let the conversation continue.